Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. Her message came through just as the rain started to fall, soft at first, like the sky was whispering a secret it didn't want to say out loud. I was sitting in our living room, half watching the reflection of streetlights shimmer against the glass when my phone buzzed on the coffee table. I picked it up without thinking, expecting another reminder from my boss or maybe a grocery delivery notification. But instead, it was her. "I'm in Paris. Don't wait for me." For a few seconds, my brain refused to process the words. Paris? She was supposed to be on a business trip in Chicago, not across the Atlantic. I stared at the glowing text, waiting for a follow-up message, something that made sense. Maybe just kidding, or flight got rerouted. But nothing came. Only the sound of the rain outside, heavier now, tapping like impatient fingers on the window pane. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Paris. Don't wait for me. That didn't sound like a delay or a schedule change. It sounded final. Cold. Detached. I typed back before I could stop myself. Paris. No reply. My hands were shaking as I opened her location sharing. She had left it on months ago, after a fight about trust. How ironic. My chest tightened as the blue dot blinked to life. Not Chicago. Not even close. Paris, France. A sick heaviness spread through me, starting from my stomach and crawling upward like something toxic. I tried calling. It went straight to voicemail. I texted again. What's going on? Then deleted it before hitting send. It sounded pathetic, desperate. Instead, I locked the phone and stared at the dark reflection of my own face in the window. That night, I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, images flickered behind my eyelids. Her laughing in some Parisian cafe, a glass of wine in hand, sitting across from someone else. Someone who wasn't me. When the sun rose, I checked my phone again. Still no response. 3 years of marriage, 7 years together. And now a single text message had reduced all of it to silence. By the third day, the silence had grown unbearable. I went through the motions at work, emails, meetings, fake smiles, but my mind was elsewhere. When I got home that evening, her suitcase was still missing from the closet, and the faint scent of her perfume lingered on her side of the bed. I lay there for a long time, staring at the ceiling, wondering if this was what betrayal smelled like. It wasn't just the cheating, if that's what this was, it was the ease with which she had done it. The casual cruelty of her words. Don't wait for me. That night, something in me shifted. I wasn't going to beg for explanations anymore. I opened my laptop and pulled up the shared photo album we'd both used for years. Thousands of pictures stared back. Vacations, birthdays, Sunday mornings making pancakes. I scrolled until I found her most recent uploads. 2 photos caught my attention immediately. They weren't public, just saved privately. One was of her standing in front of the Eiffel Tower, her smile radiant, the same soft blue scarf I'd bought her for Christmas wrapped around her neck. The other was of a man's hand holding hers over a cafe table. The hand wore a silver watch I didn't recognize. That's when the truth hit me, not like a punch, but like an undertow pulling me beneath the surface. Quiet, suffocating, absolute. I sat there for hours, the only sound the low hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. Then I did something I hadn't expected myself to do. I smiled. Not out of happiness, but clarity. The kind that comes when you realize you've been holding on to something that's already gone. I took a deep breath and typed my reply. Don't worry, I won't. Divorce is waiting. Then I turned off my phone. 3 weeks later, she came back. Not announced. Not even with guilt. Just confusion. She stood at the doorway, suitcase in hand, eyes darting around the house as if trying to recognize it. Alex, she said softly, I didn't think you'd actually file for divorce. I interrupted. You told me not to wait. Her lips trembled slightly. It wasn't what you think. I just needed time. I was confused. Confused in Paris. My voice was calm, too calm, with someone else's hand in yours. Her face paled. For a long moment, she didn't speak. Then she exhaled shakily and whispered, I didn't mean for it to happen. I almost laughed. That phrase, so small, so cowardly, made something inside me harden completely. Neither did I said quietly. But it did. I watched as her eyes filled with tears, the same eyes I used to find warmth in. Now they just looked hollow. She reached out a trembling hand toward me, but I stepped back. You should go, I said. The papers are with my lawyer. You can sign them when you're ready. She opened her mouth to speak, but no sound came. Instead, she turned, dragging the suitcase that had once symbolized adventure, now just an emblem of everything broken between us. When the door closed, the silence felt different. Lighter. Months have passed since then. Sometimes, when I walk past the travel agency downtown, I catch myself glancing at the posters of Paris in the window. There's no bitterness anymore, just a quiet acceptance, a strange gratitude even. Because that message, cruel as it was, set me free from a life built on half-truths. She texted again once. Weeks later, I made a mistake. I read it twice, then deleted it. Some mistakes don't need correcting. Some lessons, like betrayal, only make sense when you stop waiting for explanations that never come. And as I stood by the window that night, watching the rain fall again, I realized something. Sometimes love doesn't end with a fight or a scream. Sometimes it ends with a single text message, and a man finally learning how to stop waiting.